The distress beacon cut through the void of space like a knife through silence. Captain Marcus stood on the bridge of the USS Wolverine, his weathered hands gripping the command console as the alien transmission played through the speakers. The message was broken, desperate, and unmistakably not from any human vessel. "Sir?" "The signal originates from the Vega system," Lieutenant Anna reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. "It's using universal distress frequencies, but the pattern, it's alien." Marcus narrowed his eyes. Humanity had been spacefaring for 3 centuries now, but first contact had always been on their terms. This was different. This was a cry for help. "Play it again," he ordered. The bridge fell silent as the message repeated. Though the language was foreign, the universal translator picked up fragments. "Help ... tact. Empire falling ... please ... honey one." Commander James stepped forward, his military bearing evident in every movement. "Captain, this could be a trap. The Vega system is unexplored territory. Or it could be someone who genuinely needs help," Marcus replied. He turned to face his crew. What kind of species would we be if we ignored a distress call? The debate was short-lived. Within hours, the human fleet had mobilized. Not just any fleet, the Predator fleet, Earth's most formidable warships. Each one a testament to humanity's evolution on a death world where survival meant being the apex predator. 15 dreadnoughts, 30 cruisers, and 50 destroyers jumped through hyperspace toward the source of the signal. Each ship bore the scars of battles fought in the harsh territories humans had claimed among the stars. Their hulls were reinforced with metals forged in Earth's extreme conditions. Their weapon systems designed by a species that had survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. Admiral Wilson commanded the fleet from the flagship, USS Apex. He was a veteran of the colonial wars, where humans had fought off pirates and hostile alien fauna on frontier worlds. His reputation preceded him, ruthless in battle, compassionate in victory. "All ships, prepare for unknown contact," Wilson's voice echoed through the fleet communication system. "We don't know what we're walking into, but we go in ready for anything." The translation team worked frantically to decode more of the message. Dr. Lisa, the head xenolinguist, finally made a breakthrough. "Admiral, I've decoded more of the signal. They call themselves the Krex. Their empire spans 40 systems, but something is systematically destroying them." "Something?" Wilson asked. "That's all we have. They don't say who or what, just that it's unstoppable." The fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Vega system. What they found defied their expectations. Massive structures floated in pieces, ancient space stations torn apart like paper. Planets showed signs of orbital bombardment, their surfaces scarred with weapons fire. "Jesus," someone whispered on the bridge. "Scan for survivors," Wilson commanded, his voice steady despite the devastation before them. The sensors picked up a single functioning station, barely holding together. It was from there the distress signal originated. As the human fleet approached, they detected life signs, hundreds of them, maybe thousands, huddled in what remained of their once mighty station. "Sir, I'm detecting massive energy signatures approaching from the far side of the system," a tactical officer announced. "Whatever did this, it's coming back." Wilson stood. "All ships, battle formation Alpha, weapons hot, shields to maximum." He paused, looking at the broken station on the screen. "And prepare evacuation teams. We're getting those survivors out." The human fleet spread out in their signature formation, a 3-dimensional web designed for maximum coverage and overlapping fields of fire. It was a formation born from centuries of warfare, refined in the crucible of Earth's violent history. As the unknown enemy approached, the humans did what they did best. They prepared for war, Not because they sought it, but because on Earth, those who couldn't fight didn't survive. And now, in the depths of space, that evolutionary advantage was about to be put to the ultimate test. The Predator fleet was here, and they had come to help. Asterisk, the enemy emerged from the darkness, like nightmares given form. Sleek, black vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. They moved with an unnatural fluidity, as if the laws of physics were merely suggestions to them. The tactical display lit up with red markers 50 enemy ships, each one dwarfing even the largest human dreadnought. "Sir, their energy readings are off the charts," Lieutenant Anna reported, her voice tight with tension. "I've never seen anything like this." Admiral Wilson studied the approaching fleet. "Open communications. All frequencies. Channel open, sir. This is Admiral Wilson of the United Earth Predator Fleet. You are engaged in hostile actions against civilian targets. Cease your attack immediately, or we will respond with force." The reply came instantly, not through communications, but directly into their minds. Every human on every ship heard it simultaneously. A cold, emotionless voice that seemed to bypass their ears entirely. "Humans. Deathworlders. Your intervention is irrelevant. The Kreks have been judged. They will be cleansed." Wilson gritted his teeth. Telepathic communication. That was new. But humans had faced worse. They had evolved on a world where everything tried to kill them, from microscopic viruses to massive predators. A little mind-talking wouldn't shake them. "All ships, engage mental shields," Wilson ordered. Every human vessel carried psychic dampeners, a technology developed after encountering minor telepathic species on frontier worlds. "And prepare to show them why Earth is classified as a death world." The enemy fleet, calling themselves the Void Hunters, struck first. Beams of pure entropy lanced through space, designed to age their targets to dust in seconds. But human shields, powered by fusion reactors that mimicked the fury of Earth's own sun, held firm. "Return fire. All weapons," Wilson commanded. The human response was devastating. Kinetic rounds accelerated to near light speed. Plasma torpedoes that burned at temperatures matching stellar cores, and gravity bombs that created tiny black holes, all of it unleashed in a coordinated barrage that would have leveled a small moon. The Void Hunters' ships shimmered, their hulls adapting to the incoming fire. Some attacks were absorbed, others deflected, but not all. 3 enemy vessels cracked under the onslaught, their perfect forms shattering like dark glass. Captain Marcus, leading the vanguard in the USS Wolverine, noticed something. "Admiral, their ships are organic. They're healing the damage." "Then we hit them harder," Wilson replied. "Deploy the swarm." From the human destroyers, clouds of micro-drones erupted, each one no bigger than a fist, but carrying enough antimatter to level a city block. They moved like a plague of locusts, another reminder of Earth's hostile nature. The drones latched onto the Void Hunter ships, detonating in sequence. The enemy retaliated with weapons that defied understanding. Reality warped around their attacks, space itself bending and twisting. 2 human cruisers were caught in a temporal loop, experiencing the same moment of destruction over and over until their crews' minds shattered. But for every human ship that fell, the survivors adapted. That was humanity's greatest strength, not their weapons or their ships, but their ability to learn, to evolve, to overcome. They had done it for millions of years on Earth, and they would do it here. Dr. Lisa's voice crackled over the comms. "Admiral, I've been analyzing their attack patterns. They're not random. They're testing us, learning our capabilities." "Two can play that game," Wilson said. "All ships implement Protocol Darwin." Protocol Darwin, named after the ancient Earth scientist, was humanity's adaptive warfare system. Every ship began varying their tactics randomly, using different combinations of weapons and strategies. It was chaos, but organized chaos. The kind of warfare that only a species from a chaotic death world could execute. The battle raged for hours. The space around the broken Krex station became a graveyard of ships. But slowly, inexorably, the tide turned. The Void Hunters, for all their advanced technology, fought with cold logic. Humans fought with something else: desperation, creativity, and the inherited instincts of millions of years of survival. Commander James led a boarding party onto a damaged Void Hunter vessel. What they found inside defied explanation. Corridors that shifted like living tissue, air that tried to poison them, gravity that changed directions. But humans had evolved to adapt. Their suits, designed for the worst environments Earth could offer, held. Their weapons, simple and brutal, carved through the organic hull. As the battle reached its crescendo, the remaining Void Hunter ships began to pull back. Their cold, telepathic voice echoed once more. You are unexpected. This sector is yours, Deathworlders. For now. And then they were gone, vanishing into folds of space that human sensors couldn't track. Asterisk. The aftermath of battle left space littered with debris. Twisted metal and organic matter drifted between the stars, a testament to the violence that had just occurred. But Admiral Wilson had no time to count victories. The Krex station was failing, its life support systems critical. All available shuttles, begin evacuation immediately, Wilson ordered. Medical teams, prepare for alien physiology. We're going in blind, people. The first human rescue team to board the Krex station was led by Commander Ray. What he found challenged every assumption about alien life. The Krex were nothing like humans had imagined. They were crystalline beings, their bodies composed of living mineral that refracted light into rainbow patterns. They stood 8 feet tall when healthy, but most were fractured, their crystal bodies showing deep cracks from their ordeal. My God, Dr. Tom whispered through the com. They're beautiful. The Krex survivors huddled in what appeared to be their command center. One of them, larger than the others with deeper blue crystalline structure, approached the humans. When it spoke, its voice sounded like wind chimes. You came, it said through a translation device that sparkled on what might have been its chest. The distress call. We did not think anyone would answer. Ray removed his helmet, showing his face. The artificial atmosphere was thin but breathable. We're humans. We heard your call. We're here to help. The Krex leader, who introduced himself as Prime Echo, literally rang with what the translator interpreted as disbelief. Humans? The Deathworld species? We have heard stories. Planets where acid falls from sky, where ground shakes and splits, where tiny organisms kill from inside. We thought them myths. Not myths, Ray said with a grim smile. Just home. The evacuation was a masterpiece of controlled chaos. Human engineers worked alongside Krex technicians, using welding torches and determination to hold the station together long enough to get everyone out. The cultural exchange was immediate and shocking for both sides. The Krex watched in amazement as human. Medic Kate treated injuries without flinching, her hands steady even as the station shook from structural failures. When a section of the station lost gravity, the humans moved through the zero-G environment like they were born to it. When toxic gas leaked from damaged systems, human emergency teams rushed in with nothing but basic respirators, their bodies handling toxins that would kill most species instantly. Your people, Prime Echo said to Admiral Wilson during the evacuation. They do not fear death? We fear it, Wilson corrected. We just learned to work despite the fear. Earth taught us that. As the evacuation continued, the Krex shared their story. Their empire had stood for 10,000 years, peaceful and prosperous. They were artists and philosophers, their crystal bodies allowing them to manipulate light and sound in ways that created art forms humans couldn't even perceive. The Void Hunters came 6 months ago, Prime Echo explained, his body flickering with distress. They said we were inefficient, that our existence served no purpose in their grand design. They gave us one choice: submit to reconstruction or be eliminated. Reconstruction? Wilson asked. They would have remade us, turned us into something else, something that fit their vision of perfection. Prime Echo's form darkened. We chose to fight. We chose wrong. Our weapons, our defenses, nothing worked. In 6 months, they destroyed 40 systems. Billions of our people gone. The numbers were staggering. The Krex Empire had been larger than all human space combined, and it had been systematically dismantled in less than a year. But you drove them off, Prime Echo continued. You, from a single death world, did what our entire empire could not. Dr. Lisa had been studying the Krex language and culture during the evacuation. She approached Wilson with her findings. Admiral, their entire civilization is based on harmony and creation. They've never had a war. They developed space travel through cooperation, not competition. Wilson nodded slowly. And they met something that only understands force. The evacuation took 18 hours. Every Krex on the station, 3,000 souls, was brought aboard human ships. The humans gave up cargo bays, recreational areas, even personal quarters to make room. The sight of crystalline aliens walking through human ship corridors, their bodies casting rainbow patterns on military gray walls, was surreal. But perhaps the most impactful moment came when a young Krex, barely formed and flickering weakly, approached a human soldier named Mike. The alien child reached out with a crystalline hand and touched the human's armor, right where battle damage had left deep gouges. You fought for us, the child said simply. Why? Mike knelt down to the child's level. Because that's what you do when someone needs help. You help. The journey back to human space took 3 weeks. In that time, something unprecedented happened. The humans and Krex didn't just coexist, they began to truly understand each other. The contrast between the two species created an unexpected synergy dot in the USS Apex's converted cargo bay. Now serving as a Krex refugee center, Prime Echo stood before a gathering of both species. His crystalline form had been repaired by human engineers using industrial diamond fusion, a technique that amazed the Krex. He spoke of his people's history, while Admiral Wilson shared humanity's story. Your world, Prime Echo said, his form shimmering with what the humans learned was curiosity. It tried to kill you constantly. Yet you survived. More than survived, you thrived. Earth is harsh, Wilson admitted. 70% of our planet is covered in water that we can't drink without processing. We have storms that can level cities, earthquakes that reshape landscapes, and thousands of species that can kill us. But it made us strong. It made us adaptable. The Krex were fascinated by human resilience. They watched humans exercise, pushing their bodies to exhaustion and recovering to grow stronger. The concept was alien to them. Their crystalline forms didn't improve through stress, but through careful harmonic cultivation over centuries. Meanwhile, the humans were equally intrigued by Krex abilities. The aliens could manipulate light and sound in ways that defied human understanding. A Krex artist named Resonance gave a performance that left hardened Marines weeping, creating visual and auditory experiences that touched emotions humans didn't know they had. But it was in the ship's laboratory where the real breakthrough occurred. Dr. Lisa and Dr. Tom worked with Krex scientists, combining human and Krex technology. The results were astounding. Admiral, you need to see this, Lisa called over the COM dot in the lab. A fusion of technologies had created something new. Krex harmonic crystals enhanced human weapon systems, making them more efficient and precise. Human adaptive algorithms improved Krex shield harmonics, making them resistant to the reality-warping weapons of the Void Hunters. Together, the Krex scientist Prism explained, we are more than the sum of our parts. Your chaos and our order, they complement perfectly. But the celebration was short-lived. Long-range sensors detected something troubling. The Void Hunters weren't gone. They were gathering, massing a fleet 10 times larger than what the humans had faced. They're heading for Earth, Lieutenant Anna reported, her face pale. At their current speed, they'll reach human space in 2 months. The bridge fell silent. Earth humanity's cradle, their Deathworld home, was under threat. Prime Echo stepped forward, his form blazing with determination. You saved us. Now we stand with you. You don't have weapons, Wilson pointed out. Your ships are destroyed. We have knowledge, Prime Echo replied. 10,000 years of it. And we have something else, the locations of ancient weapons. Forbidden technologies, our ancestors locked away because they were too dangerous. The revelation stunned the humans. The peaceful Krex had weapons of mass destruction? We were not always peaceful, Prime Echo admitted, his form darkening with shame. Long ago, we were conquerors. We created weapons that could shatter stars, viruses that could rewrite the fabric of reality itself. We locked them away, swore never to use them again. But now, he looked at Wilson. Now we face extinction. And you have shown us that sometimes violence is necessary for survival. The decision was made quickly. A joint human Krex task force would seek out these ancient weapons while the main fleet prepared Earth's defenses. Captain Marcus would lead the expedition, taking the fastest ships and a mixed crew of humans and Krex. The first vault was hidden in a nebula that killed most organic life with radiation. Humans, evolved on a planet bombarded by cosmic rays, could survive with protective gear. Inside, they found weapons that made human technology look primitive devices that could collapse space. Weapons that attacked across dimensions. Viruses that consumed energy itself. Your ancestors were terrifying, Marcus told Prime Echo, as they examined a device that could turn a star into a weapon. Yes, Prime Echo agreed sadly. That's why we chose peace. But peace without the strength to defend it is just delayed extinction. As they gathered the ancient weapons, the alliance between humans and Krex deepened. Each species began to adopt aspects of the other. Humans learned patience and harmony from the Krex. The Krex learned determination and adaptability from humans. The fusion extended beyond technology. A human soldier named Daniel discovered he could interface with Krex crystal technology using focused thought. A young Krex named Shimmer learned human martial arts, her crystalline body making her nearly unbreakable in combat. They were no longer two species helping each other. They were becoming something new, something the Void Hunters hadn't calculated for. Asterisk Earth's solar system had become a fortress. Every asteroid had been converted into a weapon platform. Mars bristled with defensive installations. The gas giant's moons housed fleets of fighters. And Earth itself was surrounded by layers of shields, powered by both human fusion technology and Krex harmonic crystals. Admiral Wilson stood on Luna Command. Humanity's moon transformed into the largest military installation in human history. Beside him, Prime Echo's form reflected the Earth below, blue and white patterns dancing across his crystalline surface. They're coming, Anna announced. Void Hunter fleet entering the Oort cloud. Estimate: 500 ships. 500 ships against humanity's 120, even with Krex enhancements. The odds were impossible. But humans had always faced impossible odds. All stations, this is Admiral Wilson, his voice broadcast across the system. Today, we don't just fight for Earth. We fight for the right of all species to exist as they choose. The Void Hunters believe in perfection through elimination. We believe in strength through diversity. Let's show them why Earth is called a death world. The Void Hunter fleet moved in perfect formation, their black ships cutting through space like a disease. Their telepathic message echoed across the system. Surrender the Krex. Submit to reconstruction. This is your only warning. Here's our response, Wilson said. He nodded to Marcus, now commanding the combined assault fleet. Space erupted in violence. But this wasn't the chaotic battle of their first encounter. This was calculated, precise. Human unpredictability enhanced by Krex precision. The ancient Krex weapons, operated by human crews who weren't afraid to use them, tore reality apart. A star-killer weapon, mounted on the dreadnought USS Vengeance, fired a beam that didn't just destroy, it erased things from existence. 3 Void Hunter ships simply ceased to be, removed from reality as if they never existed. The Krex virus weapons, deployed by human stealth ships, infected the organic Void Hunter vessels. But instead of destroying them, the viruses did something worse. They introduced chaos into their perfect order. Enemy ships began attacking each other, their biological systems corrupted by the concept of individuality. But the Void Hunters adapted quickly. Their ships merged together, forming larger and more powerful vessels. Reality warped around them as they brought weapons from other dimensions to bear. A human battleship aged 10,000 years in seconds, its crew turning to dust. Deploy protocol extinction, Wilson ordered grimly. From Earth itself rose humanity's last resort, Project Phoenix. 1,000 years of human warfare knowledge uploaded into an AI system, combined with Krex quantum processing. It wasn't just a weapon. It was every weapon, every strategy, every dirty trick humanity had ever conceived, all deployed simultaneously. Nuclear mines hidden in space debris detonated. Biological weapons tailored to organic ships spread like wildfire. Electromagnetic pulses, gravity wells, antimatter storms, all of it coordinated by an intelligence that thought at the speed of light. The Void Hunters responded by opening portals to their dimension, bringing reinforcements. But they had made a crucial error. They brought the war to Earth. From the planet's surface. 8 billion humans focused their will through Krex amplification crystals. It wasn't telepathy. It was something rawer, more primal. The collective human survival instinct, honed by millions of years of evolution, projected into space as a psychic scream that shattered the Void Hunter's hive mind. Individual Void Hunter ships began acting erratically, their perfect unity broken. And in that moment of chaos, the combined fleet struck. All ships, maximum aggression. Wilson commanded. Show them why humans are apex predators. The battle reached its climax above Earth itself. The planet's blue marble hung in space, surrounded by the fires of war. Captain Marcus, in a move that would be remembered for generations, piloted the USS Wolverine directly into the Void Hunter command ship, detonating both vessels in a blast that lit up the solar system. The loss of their command ship shattered the Void Hunter fleet's coordination completely. Some fled immediately. Others fought to the death. But the outcome was no longer in doubt. As the last Void Hunter ship retreated through its dimensional portal, it left one final message. The Deathworlders and the Harmonizers. You are ... noted. The universe shifts. We will not return. In the aftermath, as rescue ships collected survivors and the debris was cleared, Prime Echo stood with Admiral Wilson. Looking at Earth, your world remains free, the Krex said. Our worlds, Wilson corrected. The Krex have a new home here, if you want it. Together, we're something neither of us could be alone. Prime Echo's form blazed with joy. The warrior philosophers. The survivors who create. Yes, Admiral, together. And so the Deathworlder-Krex alliance was born, a fusion of chaos and order, strength and beauty, survival and creation. The galaxy would never be the same. Asterisk.